Hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture series on general psychology. I am Dr. Olivia Kakati Sharma. I am a psychologist and researcher who's also UGC NET qualified, and I have completed my PhD from the prestigious University of Delhi, and I have also completed my master's in clinical psychology from Christ University, Bangalore. Today we shall be continuing our lecture series on general psychology, and we would move further with the next topic, which is intelligence. So let's take our journey further and dive into this new topic, which is intelligence. So we will begin with an introduction to intelligence, then we'll talk about the various theories of intelligence proposed by various psychologists in the field, and then we shall be talking about the extremes of intelligence. So let's begin our journey. Firstly, let's talk about what is intelligence, or let's try to introduce ourselves to the concept of intelligence. Okay. So, before we directly go into the definition, let's try to understand what intelligence is from a layman's perspective. So, firstly, the first thing we need to keep in mind is that intelligence is a psychological construct. Okay. So, in psychology, if you see, intelligence is conceptualized as the global capacity. So, there are a few important things to note down here. Firstly, it's a psychological construct which depicts a global capacity of an individual to act purposefully, think rationally, and deal effectively with the environment. So I have thrown in many terms. What are those? So it is the global capacity of an individual to act purposefully, think rationally, and deal effectively with what? The environment. Okay. So there are many ways or many definitions which, to understand intelligence or to define intelligence. But this main thing which you have to remember here is what forms the basis for the definition given by David Wechsler, one of the key noted figures in the field of psychology, especially whose work deals with intelligence, all the Wechsler's tests of intelligence and everything, which we will dive in later into the lecture. We'll see that, Wechsler is one of the key proponents of intelligence, and his definition talks about these three things. Okay. So basically, what is intelligence? It is a psychological construct which depicts what? A global capacity. What is global capacity? That is something in totality. Okay. The holistic capacity of an individual to do what? Act purposefully. Now, what is this acting purposefully? Act purposefully means that you are not just acting, or it is not something involuntary. You are thinking that, okay, this is the situation, so I should do this. So, whatever actions you are making has a purpose behind it. Okay. Secondly, think rationally. Okay. You are not just randomly gazing into something, or you are not randomly going into doing something. Your thinking has a certain rationality to it. Okay. And why are these important? To deal effectively with the environment. So from the environment, we get a lot of stimulus in our daily life. Okay. So how we respond to that stimulus purposefully by thinking about it rationally is what encompasses our intelligence. Okay. So in other words, if we see, it is the ability of an individual to, sort of learn from experience, to solve problems and to adapt to new situations. Okay. So intelligence involves a component of problem solving, reasoning, as well as adaptability. Okay. Adaptability to what? The environment around us, the new situations or new stimuli that we encounter, and there's always an element of problem solving as well as reasoning. Okay. Then again, intelligence is a multidimensional or context dependent construct. Okay. What do we understand by that? So basically, intelligence is not something which is very monolithic. Okay. It is not something which is passive. It is more active in nature, where there are, why is it called multidimensional? Because there are several mental capabilities at play, such as reasoning, which we just talked about, thinking both, abstract thinking as well as concrete thinking. And there is also an element of learning efficiency, because you learn from it and then that goes on to your experience, and that also influences your intelligence. Okay. So that means intelligence is multidimensional in nature. Why? Because it encompasses all these various cognitive functions together. And why is it called context dependent? Because it is culture sensitive as well as context sensitive. Okay. Now, why is it called culture sensitive and context sensitive? Because depending on various situations or depending on various contexts, as we'll proceed, we'll see that there are different kinds of intelligence at play. Okay. So when we hear the term intelligence first, the first thing which comes to our mind is academic intelligence. But intelligence, the scope of intelligence extends much beyond just academic intelligence, and it goes on to various other domains of our life, and it extends to almost all contexts in our life, as well as the kind of society we live in, the kind of culture we live in also influences it in various ways, which is why it is called context dependent or culture sensitive and context sensitive. Okay. Now, since we have understood a brief introduction to intelligence, let us move further on to the definitions. So, if we talk about the first definition given by Cicerelli and White, it is called the ability to learn from experience. So, here the key terms are: first, learning. Okay, you are learning from experience. Then, to solve problems and to adapt. So we have already talked about it previously. So basically, if we think of it, it is an ability. What is it? It's an ability to do something. What is that something? That something has three components to it. One, learning from experience. Okay, you are learning something new from the situations you are encountering, the experience you are gaining. Then what does it help to do? What does it help to do? What is it? Solving problems. Okay, the various novel situations we encounter in our life, or the decision making situations we encounter in our life, or the problem solving situations we encounter in our life, what helps that? Our ability, which is that of intelligence. Okay, that helps us to solve problems. And why is it important? Because it helps us to adapt to the environment. The environment we live in, the environment we flourish in. Okay, so that is the definition given by Cicerelli and White. Next, the one given by Wechsler, we have already discussed. It is what? The global capacity of a person to act purposefully, think rationally, and deal effectively with the environment. So this definition should be like a holy grail to you all, and you should always remember this definition by Wechsler. Okay. Then apart from these two given by Cicerelli and White and Wechsler, there are two other definitions which we'll talk about. Another very key figure in intelligence is Sternberg. Okay. Who? Sternberg. We'll later talk about his triarchy theory of intelligence. So what did Sternberg say about intelligence? So according to Sternberg, he has a more cognitive bent of mind towards explaining intelligence. He says that intelligence involves mental activity Intelligence involves mental activity which is directed towards purposive adaptation to, what is it directed towards? Mental activity directed towards what we call purposive adaptation, selection and shaping of natural world or real world environments. So there is a sort of element of purposive adaptation, means you are not just adapting, you are doing it purposefully. Then he also talks about selection. So you are selecting the kind of response you want to make, the kind of environment you want to attend to, the kind of stimuli you want to respond to, and also apart from selection, you are also shaping your, what are you shaping? Your real world environment, right? So very easy to remember Sternberg's definition. Sternberg said that intelligence is nothing but a mental activity. That is, what does it do? It is directed towards purposive adaptation, selection and shaping of our real world environments. Then again, another definition if we talk about, it talks about, that is again given by Cicerelli and White. They further said that, it is the ability, that we have to learn from experience and to acquire that knowledge and use our resources effectively. That is actually not another definition, that is the extension of this definition that we had previously talked about. So they say that we just don't learn from experience, but we also acquire that knowledge, and then those resources are the knowledge we acquire from the environment that becomes a resource that we use effectively in later situations. So when we look at all of these definitions, they sort of reflect what? A blend of all sorts of cognitive, functional as well as the adaptive dimensions of intelligence. So when you see Sternberg's definition, that's more of a very cognitive approach towards intelligence, whereas when you hear Cicerelli and White's definition, that reflects more of the sort of adaptive dimension of intelligence, and Wechsler's definition sort of reveals, it focuses more on the functionality of intelligence. So these definitions are a blend of these three dimensions of intelligence.